Wednesday, April 1st, we're gonna start off by moving for 12 minutes. We need a PVC pipe and a lighter weight, dumbbell, singular, kettlebell, or any odd object you may have. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our PVC pipe. We're gonna be doing some prone behind the neck presses. So prone, we're gonna lay down, we're gonna grab our PVC pipe, we're gonna reach out, pull our elbows down and back, tighten them, squeeze them, return. Tighten, squeeze, and return. After 10, we're gonna stay down. We're gonna do some thoracic rotations, really good for those sitting because they're working or Netflixing. Hands underneath us, one hand behind the head. We're gonna rotate elbow down to the ground, and then we're gonna push through the hand that's located on the ground and push as we rotate. We're gonna do 5 one side, 5 the opposing. Take your time with this. Next up, we have 20 plank shoulder taps. So slow is fast. The slower you go, the better. We're taking the time to be able to rebuild ourselves, so take my word on that. Widen the feet slightly. You can touch same shoulder or opposing. I'm looking for as little wiggle as possible in the hips and slow movement. Slow is fast. Now you need your weight. So we are going to do 10 each arm, single arm rows. So grab your weight, hinge butt back, flex in the back, pull, return. We've got 10 on the right, 10 on the left. When I finish my pull, I want to hold for just a second, and I finish my pull right about here, right underneath my pec or where my sports bra is. Let's keep it easy now. Let's do 10 alternating lunges. You can walk in place. You can not walk in place, whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to finish off with 5 tipping birds. So single leg work. My back leg comes up. I basically come to a scale and back up. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. And then I'm gonna restart as we have 12 minutes to continually work. Have fun, get yourself moving, and balance out your body. Moving into our superset, we have 3 rounds with a 60 to 90 second rest afterwards. 3 things. So I've got something I can sit on, I've got something I can put my knee on, and I've got a weight. So whether it's something that is a bag of baking soda, a loaded backpack, whatever weight you have, something that's gonna be a little bit more manageable, being more on the light side. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna do 10 cross body, low to high chops. So it looks like this. First I start in a kneel, and then I'm gonna grab my weight. I am going to bring the weight to my hip of the knee that's on the ground, and I have twisted. I'm going to then, from the low, come high and back low. That would be 1. Up and down. Now while I do this, the weight going up, of course, is harder, and it's really easy for it to sail back down. I want you guys to control it. After we've done 10, yes, you'll need to switch knees. Same thing, from the hip, up, across in a diagonal, control down. The more control you have, the more gain you'll have from that. So you'll do 1 set of 10, 1 set of 10, and then you need something to sit on. So what we're gonna do is a seated elevator press. So, looks like this. It's a press, so it's gonna start in the front rack. I'm gonna go up, pause, pause, finish. Return down. Pause, pause, finish, return down. So this elevator press has 2 stops, 1, 2 before it gets overhead. We've got 5 on the right, same thing, pause, pause, finish. 5 on the left. Then take your time, 60 to 90 seconds, rest, repeat twice again. Moving into our workout today, I'm super excited about this, and I hope you guys like it. We need a single piece of equipment. It's gonna be a kettlebell, a dumbbell, or I'm gonna demo today the workout with the backpack. So it's gonna be 25 minutes in length. The first thing we're gonna start with is 10 pull-throughs. So what that looks like with a dumbbell kettlebell is from the plank position, the dumbbell is gonna start off to the side. I'm gonna widen my stance a little bit, tuck my tailbone under. I'm gonna reach, pull through, that is 1. Reach, pull through, that is 2. My backpack demo is very similar. There's a little bit more dragging, but nonetheless, I'm pulling it through. Every time I pull it through, that is 1, and we have 10. From there, everybody has 15 single arm rows. Just like we did in the warm-up, you're gonna pick that piece of equipment up, hinge, make sure we're in a great position in our back. We're gonna pull, return, pull, and return. I've got 15 on the right, and then, let's grab it this way. 15 on the left. Once you've done that, we are gonna get 20 overhead lunges in. Now there's no rules on how many needs to go on the right arm and how many goes on the left, but if you're like me, you're gonna break it 10 and 10. So we're gonna grab that piece of equipment, we're gonna bring it overhead, the sturdiest reminder, right by the head, directly over us. We're gonna step and stand. Once I've completed 10, I'm going to then switch. Same thing, I'll complete another 10. If I had this in my hand for overheads, it would look the same. I would simply lunge and return. Now, for whatever reason, if overhead is not in your best interest, that would be the person who has a hard time getting overhead. They're stuck here. Bring it to the front rack. The front rack is gonna be equally as hard. You'll do 10 and you'll do 10. It doesn't mean you're gonna get less of a workout, you're just modifying for your body. Once we've done 20 of those, we are gonna do 25 Superman lifts. We don't need anything for this except for our body. We're gonna be laying flat on the ground, arms overhead, and we're gonna lift, squeeze our butt cheeks, back down. 25 lifts into 15 right and 15 left single leg passes. So what's that mean? We've done these before. We're gonna go single leg, weight in hand, pass. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna get 15 done before you switch legs. Same thing with your odd object. 1, 2. What I'm looking for here is that there's control. If you are hobbling, if you're hopping all over the place, stop, reset, take your time. Balance, super helpful for you. Just long term, 25 minutes of that, have so much fun. Have some time for some extra gymnastics work? I've got a good one for you. So here's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do 3 rounds and we're gonna treat this like a superset. So we're gonna go from one thing into the next, then we're gonna rest for a minute at the end. Here's what you need. You need a pair of socks on a surface in which they can slide. You need a stair, potentially a step. I don't really trust my chairs or my cooler to do this. And you need a PVC pipe or a really small weighted item. So what we're gonna start with is something that's really challenging for most of us, is 10 seated leg lifts. Now, when we do these leg lifts, we start in a pike position, and I want our hands to come forward. So now I've got a flexed back with my tailbone coming with me like a deadlift, and I'm gonna push through my fingertips, leaving my chest over my thighs, lifting 1, 2, 3, until 10 has occurred. Now, let's say that's super, super challenging. Well, what we can do to help us is elevate our bottom, still reach out in front of us, and lift. I'm looking for the chest to be forward. So find what you have at home that can help allot your feet some grace by elevating your butt. Once you've done 10 of those, this is where you need your socks on a slippery surface. We're gonna do 10 pike ups. Now we did these like the week before we had to shut down, I think, on the rowers. They were a ton of fun. What we're gonna do gonna start in a plank. And I'm gonna turn my toenails under. So my toenails are on the ground. My shoulders are gonna start in front of my hands. I'm going to pike my bottom up, return back down. We can modify by bending the knees as needed. We can also curl the toes. I know it's really challenging for us to be in that pointed toe position, so I don't expect you to do that if that's gonna be a little too strenuous on the top of the foot. We've got 10 followed by 10 Jefferson curls. Jefferson curls require an elevated surface. So I would, on the inside of my house or the outside of my house, use a step or a stair, but I stack some plates up, and I'm gonna use a 5-pound plate. What I'm gonna do here is with my toes at the end, I'm going to roll one vertebra at a time, starting with my head. Chin, rolling all the way down, keeping my chin tucked, getting as low as I can, and then one vertebra at a time on the way up. This is meant to be a little bit slower. One at a time, down, and one at a time, up. What we're doing is we're just giving our back a little bit of love. It's okay to lift and have your back rounded, but it has to be under the right circumstances. Now, if you're more mobile, you might need a higher elevated surface. So if your arms get to the ground and you have to bend them, we need to be higher off the ground. We're gonna finish today off with some stretching. So what I wanna do is 30 seconds of a straddle stretch, legs out to the side. Now if you had a buddy, somebody that could push on your back, that'd be fun. But what I wanna see is legs straight, reaching out. And then when 30 seconds has expired, it would be fun to have our buddy again, pushing on our lower back, legs straight, pike stretch. 30 seconds, and once we finish that, we've finished one of our 3 rounds, and we're gonna have our mandatory rest, 1 minute.